So let's add some fractions that have the same denominator. Let's start with 1 and 1/4 plus 1 and 2/4. I'm going to model this with some fraction tiles. 1 and 1/4 just means one whole, the red holes tile, and 1/4, 1/4 of another whole. 1 and 2/4 means one whole, and 2 1/4. So now I've got it modeled with fraction tiles. Now you can really see what the sum is right away by looking at the fraction tiles. But the easy way to do this is add the fractional parts first, 1/4 plus 2/4. So you can see I have 3/4 all together. And then add the whole numbers. I have one whole plus another whole. So I have two wholes altogether. So altogether I have 2 wholes and 3 1/4, or 2 3/4. It's also important to remember that these wholes are really also just a collection of 4/4 themselves. That whole would be 4/4, and this whole would be 4/4 as well. So another way to look at this is that 1 and 1/4 is the same as 5/4, and 1 and 2/4 is the same as 6/4. 5/4 plus 6/4, well, 5 plus 6, that's 11/4 altogether. So you can think of it in terms of just regular fractions as well. All right, now let's try another example where we've got one added step, and I'll show you where that is later. Let's model it first. We have one whole and 2 1/6 here. And now we have 2 wholes, so 2 rods, and 5 1/6. The denominators change from 4 to 6, so my pieces are smaller because now that takes 6 of them to make one whole. Okay, so let's do what we did with the last problem. Let's just add the fractional parts together. 2 6 plus 5 6. All those 6 together equals 7/6. And then the one whole plus the 2 wholes together, that makes 3 and 7/6. I can move these up. And you can see we've got 3 and 7/6. Now here's where the extra step comes in though, because while that is true, I see 3 wholes and I see 7/6. In math, usually we don't write mixed numbers where the fractional part is a fraction greater than 1. We want to take this fractional part and convert it into a fraction that's less than 1 when we're writing a mixed number. So how can we do that? Well, we can see that the 7/6, they're greater than one whole. How much greater? Well, since we're dealing with sixths, 6/6 makes one whole. So 7/6 is really 6/6 plus one more sixth. So I'll break that out. 7/6 equals 6/6 plus one more sixth down here. And those 6/6, just really an extra whole. So that 6/6 is really just one more whole. So now my picture shows 4 wholes, that 3 wholes plus that 1 whole, plus one more sixth. So we can rewrite this sum as 4 wholes and then that 1/6 left over. Now I've gone back to the original pictures of 1 and 2/6 and 2 and 5/6. Do remember when you're dealing with mixed numbers that these wholes, since we're dealing with the denominator of 6, these wholes are really just a collection of 6/6 as well. So if you can think about that flexibly and realize that each of these wholes is actually just a collection of 6/6, you could think about this in terms of fractions where that's 6/6 plus 2 more 6, so that would be 8/6. And this is 6/6 plus another 6/6, that's 12/6 plus 5/6 would be 17/6. And then 8 plus 17 would be 25. So we have 25/6 all together. Just be thinking flexibly that a one whole always is made up of those fractions as well.